doing today?
I'm okay. We have a lot of sunshine over here. Where are you coming in from?
I'm in Southern California near San Diego.
So not the Bay Area.
No. And you're far, far away from me. So
I'm far, far away in France. Yes, in the south of France.
Yeah. That's right. And we're both in the same boat. We're both in our homes, distancing from everybody.
Yep, still going on. And we're so happy to be here with you all for this virtual book festival, Bay Area Book Festival. My name's Nelly, as you probably guessed from what Andrea was saying. And I'm the author of Cat, Dog, Dog, Story of a Blended Family. And Andrea here is...
I'm the illustrator of Cat, Dog, Dog. I did all the pictures in the book. And you see the back there.
Cat, Dog, Dog doesn't have too many words, so Andrea had a lot of work to do for us. And even when you look at the cover, you can see that she's already telling us so much about what the book is about.
Nelly, maybe I should tell them about my kindergarten teacher that taught me what to do with picture books. Excuse me for having to scooch there. Anyways, when I was in kindergarten, I couldn't read yet. And so my kindergarten teachers said, well, when you see a picture book, you can read the pictures. So Nelly, why don't you hold up the book again? So if you look at the cover, what can you read from just that cover? So already we know cat, dog, dog, but you can also tell their personalities by their facial expression, and looks like that big dog in the middle is really wagging his tail. And for you young artists out there, look at how I illustrated the tail wagging. You can see it shows the movement in there. So a lot of Cat, Dog, Dog is reading the stories by looking at the pictures.
And Andrea, you use that same technique or similar, right? Where you were putting movement into the image with these lines. So here you can see the animals all running together. And it gives you that effect of them just running off the page. Almost.
Yes, when you illustrate a book, you don't want it to seem frozen in time. You want it to seem like the characters are very much alive. You want them, in fact, I wanted people to be able to look at the cat, dog, dog and think of their own pets and go, oh, my dog's like that or my cat's like that. So
Andrea does such a good job of making these images come alive, and it's like you're watching, it's like a cartoon really, because you can almost imagine that tail moving, and that goes out throughout the whole story. And Cat, Dog, Dog is a very special book because it actually only uses a few words, right?
Yes.
Cat, dog, and dog, and then a few other words, not too many, that you learn as we go along. So having someone like Andrea who's so good at making the animals come alive was really important, and I'm so happy as the writer to have someone like Andrea, because as she said, I had my own dogs in mind and my own cat in mind when I read the story. And that's what's so funny is everyone reads the story, and I have people send me pictures of their dogs, telling me, oh, this dog is so much like my dog, and like this one reminds me of my mom's dog, and all this stuff, when really it's funny how books kind of become a mix of the writer and the illustrator, and then what the reader brings to it, what all of you open it up, discover.
Yes, because Nelly very much had an idea of what she was picturing. And then when I was asked to illustrate it and I heard the story, almost the only way I could do it was to start picturing the animals that I have in my life. And that made it more real for me. So I was able to put the full personality into it, because I actually don't know Nelly's dogs, and I don't know her cat. And so I don't know what they're like. So like I said, I have a lot of animals in my life. So I was just able to go, oh, I'm going to make the cat like this cat I know, and the big dog like this big dog I know. And that made it a lot more easy to illustrate. So, yes.
I think it's interesting how we really all think it's our own dogs, right? But we also can understand the story and the dynamics, how the cat feels about the big dog or how the little dog feels about the big dog. And those ways remind us of our own maybe brother or little sister or mom. So even though they're animals, sometimes they can make us think of real, people in our lives. And that's why we added this line that says the story of a blended family. So it's really about family more than maybe pets. To me, it's really love and what that really means. Because Andrea, you have who do you have in your neighborhood, in your family? Who's in your?
Well, I have my daughter and her husband, and so I have a little grandson from them, and his name is Rory, and he lives about a mile from us. And during this time where we have to social distance ourselves, I get to see him every once in a while from a distance because we have to keep away from each other. And we all have our masks on and everything. And then also at my house, I have my niece is living with me. And I have a family friend that she's like family to us, so she's living with us, and we're all quarantined in our house together. And luckily, we all get along very well, so it has not been a problem for us. How about you, Nelly? Who do you have in your house?
Well, I have a very big dog and a cat that looks a lot like this cat. And we used to have another dog who has since died, a wonderful dog named Bingley. Mm-hmm. And they actually inspired the story of Cat, Dog, Dog, because I was trying to sleep one night and I had my giant dog with me, which is normal. But then I heard the scratching at the door and I was like, what's that? So then I go to the door, I open the door, and in the dark I see this tiny little shape come out, and it's the cat. So I thought, okay, well, the cat and the big dog kind of get along, so maybe they can sleep together. For some reason, they all wanted to be with me, so I was flattered. A little worried. And then I got back in bed, so I have the cat, the giant dog, and then what do I hear? Scratching at the door again. I'm like, well, I have the cat here, I have the big dog. Who could it be? And it was Bingley. And then I got worried because these two did not get along. In fact, this one was trying to eat this one for most of the time they were alive. But the difference is this dog was sick, so he was a little bit less aggressive and he was more tired all the time, and he actually was looking for cuddles more than he had before. So I opened the door and I picked him up, and I was really worried about these two. But I thought if I keep them at the different parts of the room separated, it'll be fine. Well, guess what I did? I dropped the dog where I thought there'd be nothing, and I dropped him on the cat. So I was so worried. I started wriggling around, and guess what? Nothing happened. They just scooched around each other, fell asleep, and the only person who didn't sleep that whole night was me, because I had a cat, dog, and another dog in bed with me. So that mini quarantine was that evening, that night, with these three animals.
Well, Nelly, when you were writing this book, did you originally think that you would have a lot more words in it, or did you automatically think simple when you were doing the words?
Well, it's funny because it was that night when I was sitting with the animals, my brain just went cat, dog, dog. And I really liked the way that sounded. So I just kind of sat with that. I didn't do much with it, but I had all night to think about it since I wasn't sleeping. And what happened the next day, I wrote it out, and I wrote it out like that, just with these words, because to me it was very funny and it was making me laugh. And I thought, if it makes me laugh, hopefully it would make someone else laugh. And it reminded me, of how, like the dog in Up, in the Pixar movie.
Yes.
Goes, Doug the dog, right? And so I kept that and just had a lot of notes for an illustrator, because it needed to be explained, because it wasn't just, a bunch of words thrown out that sounded funny, but it had a whole story behind it that was in my head, though. So, and I thought, I just thought it sounded good. And then it was also very satisfying, for a little, for anyone out there who just has begun to read. If you've just started reading, sometimes those books with a lot of words can be a lot. How are you going to get through even one page? One day you will, but sometimes it's a lot. So what I love about Cat, Dog, Dog is I have some friends, young friends, starting to read, and they can read from this cat all the way to the last word. And they can read the whole thing. They can read the last page, boom, close the book, haha. I read the whole thing. And there you go. You've read a whole
Well,
book.
I think I told you, my grandson, when he was 3, and I was drawing the book for you, and I let him look at all the pages, and he read the book. And once he learned what dog looked like and cat looked like in words, he was able to read the whole thing. So he thought that was really cool, because at that point he wasn't quite sure on words. But
if Cat Dog Dog can be the first book you read, you can go around and say, this is the book, I read this book. And I know that when I was little, some things like telling time. So reading a watch. I used to think, how am I ever going to learn how to do that? That is the most complicated thing I've ever seen. Now people are using phones, so it's a little different, I guess. But you used to have the big arrow, the hand, the small hand. It was just a mess. So I know that I like when things can be simplified, and the advantage, the cool thing I think about Cat Dog Dog is that it's funny too. So you're reading something that makes me laugh, makes Andrea laugh, and certainly Andrea, the expressions that she has for these animals are so funny. Look at this grubby cat. Did you know that?
What's that?
Did you know you were going to come up with that cat when you read it?
No, I kind of read the story through a few times, so that it takes me a while to kind of start picturing the character. So slowly I started coming up with this image of a cat. I always kind of like grumpy cats. I like cats that have a little bit of attitude. So I thought that would fit in with the different personalities, because the older dog, which is the little one, is kind of very friendly dog, but set in her ways. And then we have the big friendly dog, which is almost like an annoying little brother in a way. And so I thought, well, the perfect thing to fit that with is someone that is for real, kind of grumpy and kind of wants everything their way, and maybe kind of instigates a little trouble for the other ones. So that's kind of when I came up with the idea. And I was going to say that for any of those young artists out there, when you're drawing animals for a book, not only for me, what I do is I draw them as the animal, and I use body language for dogs that I know and body language for cat. But then I also put in a little twist of making some of their expressions human. So that makes it easy to read what they're feeling as you're going through the book. So so
body language means how somebody moves, how they, maybe if they're sitting down and they are hunched over, that means they're probably tired, or they don't really care about lifting up their shoulders, so maybe they're a little lazy. Yes. So that's what you mean by the body language. Yeah.
Once you show them the page where the dog and cat are in their front yard, and that's a good dog body. See, that's what you call a play bow. And so if you see a dog doing that to you, where their front is down and their bottom's up in the air and their tail's wagging, that means they want to play. But another body language is you can look at that cat, and that cat is not so happy about playing. So you can read the body language, and that's what we were saying about being able to read the illustrations in this book. So you can read the words, and then you can go and look at the picture and go, what is really going on here? Because part of the fun of a book is to have words. And then you look at the picture and go, oh, that's what's really going on. So you can see, it's a cat, and a dog and a cat. But what's going on? That big dog wants to play so bad.
So bad. And you can see that those lines that we showed you in the beginning on the cover that Andrea is using to move the tail. And actually we have some videos on YouTube if you want to see some of the scenes from the book that have been animated. So they've been made into cartoons. So you can actually see the tail wagging or the running. And so that's been really fun for us. And then also, Andrea is so good at making these characters come alive. And if you look at her other books, you'll see that she's doing it in the other ones too. So I was going to show you guys this special poster that we made so if you buy the poster, some of the money that you use to pay for the poster goes to helping people right now who are having trouble, buying food or taking care of themselves during this difficult time when everyone has to be stuck at home and they can't work and all these difficult things. Yeah. So we decided to bring the magic of Andrea's characters and to put them all together into this celebration of family, and to show you how we all are in this together. So even if you feel really alone right now or scared or you're missing your friends, well, you just know that we're kind of all in this together. A lot of us are missing our friends. A lot of us are kind of going through a difficult time. So we wanted to kind of give people something fun to look at and some joy, kind of a hug to the whole world here. So Andrea, can you tell us? I mean, I see dog here, I see cat. These are other characters from your books?
Yeah, it's kind of like my blended character family from all my books. So like Nelly said, there's dog and cat and dog. And then there is the big alligator. Her name's Tanya, and she's in one of my books. And then we have Business Pig in there. He's a little fella, and even smaller than him. Right below him is Sweetie. I know she's so tiny, and even tinier still. Right behind her is Marigold and Daisy.
And what kind? Those are snails, right?
Those are snails. They're very tiny, but when you see the poster and reel, you go, "Oh yeah, snails." And then there is a dinosaur in there. That book isn't even out yet, and I went ahead. Yeah. So she'll be coming out real soon. And then I tend to draw animal characters mostly. And the rest of the characters that are human in there are usually characters in the story, but just not the main characters. But I wanted to put them in there. So yeah,
where she's actually holding cat, dog.
Dog, yes. And then we have another one. Regina, the dinosaur, is holding a friend of ours book. Is Hounds Won't Go. Lisa Rogers.
Yeah. And we did an event with them like this, where we're speaking to you over the computer virtually to celebrate both books coming out, because when you're in the middle of a time like this, when we can't hang out together and we can't meet in person, it's kind of hard to get the word out about these new books coming out. And I think for me, that's how I'm getting through. Is I love to read, and reading really helps to go somewhere else in your head and use your imagination to travel when maybe you can't travel in real life.
And we also have crafts. Don't we have crafts connected to your site? Yeah.
We have these other activities you can do to bring the characters alive and maybe take your friends on some adventure. These are our finger puppets. You want to tell us about them, Andrea?
Oh yeah, we they're from the book, of course, Cat, Dog, Dog. And what's kind of fun is that even though you can color them the same color as the book, you can kind of go crazy too. And I think Nelly's mom went crazy here. You'll see. She did.
She did a purple dog.
A purple dog. You can do it any color you want. And either you can just play with them and make up your own stories, or you can use them as you read through the book. So anyways, those are a lot of fun. And I think we have some coloring book pages too. So you can do all kinds of fun things with Cat, Dog, Dog. And I like those puppets a lot. So like I said, I used to, when I was a kid, like a tree has to have a brown trunk and green leaves. Well, not necessarily. It can be pink and purple and all that stuff. So yeah,
and those make really your own. We were saying that everyone, they can find their own pets, and they think, oh, this dog is like my dog, this dog's like my dog. Well, that's exactly what you can do with your finger puppets. You can make them completely your own. You can even add a hat or an antenna, or you can make an alien dog. You can do whatever you want. So you can really have fun with that. And because we have time and we're at home a lot, I would encourage anyone to do that. Go crazy. Add some glasses or I don't know.
Yeah. Well, you could do finger puppets of your family too. So, the cat, dog is kind of like our book family. So if you wanted to, you could make your own finger puppets of your family and kind of tell their story while holding your puppets and something like that.
These finger puppets, Andrea, they're not too hard to make, right?
No. In fact, I think I found some finger puppets online so I could kind of get an idea of the shape. And I kind of used their idea for the shape, and then I just kind of made them my own. So you can take my finger puppets and kind of get an idea of what would fit around your finger, but draw your own characters, especially of your family or something like that, and then play and tell your own story of your family. So that would be kind of fun to do. Yeah.
It looks like all you need really is, all you have to do is print out this kind of piece of paper, right? You need some scissors so that you cut out, there's little dotted lines so you can follow along.
Mm-hmm.
And then all you have to do is you wrap it around your finger. So you probably want to color it before you wrap it around your finger.
Yes.
But see here, all we did was add some tape.
Yeah.
And then you can prop it up on your finger like that.
Yep. Yeah.
So to find the cat, dog puppets that then you can use to make your own puppets as well, those are they're certainly on my website. So just nellybuchet.com and then / swag. So if you go on the website, you'll see there's a free stuff page, and that's where you'll find the coloring pages that Andrea made, and then the finger puppets she made as well.
Yeah.
And
so as you're reading cat, dog, you might want to think of how your family fits. How does everybody work in your family? Does everybody get along? I don't think everybody gets along all the time. Certainly cat, dog don't always get along. And they kind of get used to each other in the end, even though they have a big surprise at the end.
Surprise.
Yes, but you can even write your own story or tell your own story of what is your family? How does everybody work out together? What doesn't work? Because that's okay. Families are never perfect. So think about your story. In fact, it'd be kind of cool if we could hear a little bit about your story sometime. So, I think Nelly's website is best at picking up stories right now from other people. So if anybody wants to tell their story to us, that would be really awesome.
Super cool.
That would be super cool. Yes. So, because right now with everybody in their houses, we don't see a lot of people. We like to hear what people are doing and what they're thinking, and
everything is interesting. Everything that is outside of our homes is interesting.
Yes, I know. Every time I go outside, it's like it's so beautiful.
I know, I'm so excited. You see someone with a mask. It's a new set of eyes that you didn't see yesterday.
Yes. So
it's true, Andrea, what you're saying, because in cat, dog, they, as you can tell, we were saying from the cover, doesn't look like they necessarily get along so much already. They don't look like best friends, right?
No.
Best friends are usually like close or holding hands or something. So it's normal to have moments when maybe you don't get along, or when you first meet someone who one day becomes your best friend. Well, maybe when you first meet them, they're not your best friends yet. And you may not even like certain things that they do.
Yeah.
And that's really...
sometimes in the family, sorry. I was just saying, sometimes in the family, you don't even become best friends. It's more like you have your place in your family where you all, you've learned all to fit together. And so I think that's a lot of what cat, dog is. Are they best friends? No, they're family, and they know how to fit together, or they're trying their best, especially towards the end. And like I said, though, there's a big surprise at the end. So that kind of changes a few things maybe for them. So anyways.
And that's what's so exciting about, I think, being in a family, or I don't know if exciting, but it's a beautiful thing, because your family's always going to be there. And even if they're not there physically with you, they're always going to be in your heart. And that's, I think, the strength of family is that they'll stick with you no matter what. So It's true. You can have best friends. You can have really good friends. you can have people that you don't know so well, or people at school who you've said hi to once, but your family's going to be there. So even though maybe right now we're all going a little bit crazy being with our family all the time at home because we can't play with our friends, or we can't go meet new people and hang out, that's something that we can, I think, really all appreciate, that we have people there for us, and we can be there for people too.
Yes. Well, very good. Well, I think we've come to the end of it, Nelly. So it was nice talking with you, because I know you're always so far away from me, and sometimes you're in LA, which is close, but you're in France and I am not.
But we get to hang out here and with all of you who tuned in.
Oh, yes.
So much for coming, and do check out Cat Dog Dog and support local bookstores, because the magical thing about local bookstores is, well, they can feel like family too. They can be people that and they can open your world to things you didn't know existed, and you can discover new worlds, new books, thanks to people at those bookstores. So well, very cool. Thanks, Nelly. Thanks, Andrea. Bye, everybody.
Bye.